All right, welcome back to the Now What podcast. I'm your host, Arian Foster. We're going to give a special shout out to Smarty Pants Vitamins. They're the title host, sponsor of this podcast, man. So go pick them up if you need some. Dog, I have a legend sitting in front of me, man. I can't even express how much you influenced my life, bro.
Man, I appreciate you.
Yeah. So those that don't know that voice, shame on you. That's Deion Sanders.
I appreciate you, man. I'm glad to be here.
Primetime.
I'm proud of you, dog.
I appreciate you, man.
Man, I'm so glad people are getting to know you.
Yeah, man. For the few interested, man, it's definitely open.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, they're getting to hear you articulate yourself. They're really getting the feel of you, the essence of you, not just the dude who ran the ad, that ball, just the real you.
Yeah, I always felt like football was a small part of my ethos, a small part of who I was, man.
Yeah.
And I think retirement has definitely enabled that part of me to where I can express myself. And not only that, this is what's beautiful about this podcasting journey is I get to sit down and talk to people because I have a little bit of reference from playing in the NFL, man. So I get to sit down and talk to you, Snoop, a NASA astronaut. So people that have inspired me or just interest me in any kind of walk of life, and I get to do that, man. And I feel like I can sit down and rap with anybody walking the earth, man. And I feel like it's gonna help everybody grow. So
that's good.
I'm just doing my part, man.
I'm happy, man.
I'm happy
to be here, man.
Man, I apologize. I made you drive out north. You gave me.
But I used to live closer to this side. But I'm Willy Wonka now. I'm in the chocolate factory.
That is.
I'm on the whole other side of the town.
Yeah, no.
I love it.
You gave me directions. You said anywhere down south or downtown. And I picked one up north, man.
But that's okay. Last time I was here, I was here, came to visit my man Kurt Franklin. He's recording here.
Okay. Oh, in the same studio?
So it's all good.
Okay, cool. So that old stomping grounds, man. So for those people that don't know you, man, this is a Hall of Fame defensive back. To me, probably the greatest athlete. One of the greatest athletes to walk the earth.
I appreciate it.
The earth.
It's a guy named Vincent Bo Jackson that I adore.
See,
if it hadn't been for Bo, it wouldn't be no Prime.
People say that debate all the time. They bring up that debate all the time. Like, who's a better athlete, Deion or Bo?
It's different, though. We're different. Bo was big, powerful, strong. Yeah. I was just a little more relatable. I was the normal man size with a hood influence.
You did nothing normal though.
Yeah, but I was a little hood, so that's how I could relate to a lot of folks.
Right. So I want to start from the beginning, man, just because I think your journey is the beautiful part of who you became, man. You grew up in the projects in Florida.
Yeah, from Joan Walker's apartment.
So tell me about that environment a little bit.
My mother and I, single mother, that was back in the day, man, where mama went to work. She used to leave my key, right on the dresser or pin it on my shirt. Right. Now, I'm talking 5, 6 years old. That's child abuse now. But mama had to go get it.
Yeah.
And I had to be mature enough to get up, make my cereal, go to school, lock the door. And that's how we got down. But see, that's back in the day where everybody in the neighborhood used to look out for you.
Right.
So the next door neighbor used to make sure you got up out of there and make sure you went to school. And everybody told on you. You got 3 or 4 whoopings before mama got home if you went straight. Right. So I kind of matured, but it was just me and my mama for a minute.
What do you think of that is as far as like the times and how they change now, where it's like, because I remember that I used to walk by myself to school when I was 6 years old, 7 years old. Like, but I have an 8-year-old now. I wouldn't send her down the block by herself.
But things change.
What do you think it is, though?
It's the ignorance and the ignorance of people now.
Right.
Everybody's manipulative. Everybody's. It's a characteristic of what we see on TV.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we grew up, let's just think of the ethnic, the Jeffersons.
All right.
Good Times.
The Cosby.
The Cosbys.
Oh, that didn't turn out so well.
Sanford and Son.
Right.
But we always had something to look forward to, and that shaped us.
Right.
What we got now. That shows us that right now, even thinking that long to bring up a situation that we see on TV that's positive, we don't have it, man.
I think it's kind of a baby of the technological age, right? Because I was thinking about this the other day. Is like I was looking at the music influence, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why it's so chaotic is because the internet has given access to everybody who wants a voice to have a voice.
True.
And so there's really nothing funneling your vision into what it should be, or like a ground foundation of any kind of goodness. And so it's just like a free for all. Everybody's just kind of finding their own way. It
really is, but it also echoes who we are. Like when we look at Instagram or we look at Twitter, social media, that really is the display of who we've become as a society, man. And it's not good. Just like you say, I would never let my babies leave them home by themselves with the next door. You'd be scared of the next door neighbor going to try to molest them or do something ignorant to them. But back in the day, man, that's how it was. We all looked up for each other.
Yeah, it's definitely a different time, man. I mean, going back to that time, so you were a three sport athlete,
right?
And most of that was like all of us, man. We just did it so we could stay out of the streets.
True.
And you did it at such a high level, man. Like you hear about the stories of who you were, like when I was growing up. Like Deion used to, like that's how big your influence were. I mean, when I was in high school, a lot of it was I wasn't one of those cats who was like naturally talented. Like I worked my ass off.
Right.
Even in high school, like all the homies, they were out partying, and I was running hills. They used to joke on me and stuff. And now that we 30, like I know exactly what you were doing. But like, were you one of those cats that could just step out on the field and do it?
I was one of the kids that worked my butt off.
Right.
I was one of the kids that never smoked in my life. I was one of the kids that never drank in my life. I was the kid that stopped using profanity my sophomore year in college. I was that dude that I made a promise to my mom at 7. I was going to be rich, make a lot of money, and you're going to never have to work. And I was dead serious.
Right.
I wasn't playing. I had already had Ali in my mind. Brash, confident, but was going to back it. I had Hank Aaron in my mind because I was a baseball player. Although all the racism that he endured, he was focused and eclipsed it, the home Babe Ruth title. Mm-hmm. I had even back then OJ on my mind. Right. OJ was the juice, man.
He was smooth,
OJ
man.
was the juice. He
was one of my favorite. He still is one of my favorite.
That's what I'm saying. See, I had Dr. J on my mind. He was the Jordan before Jordan.
Right.
He didn't have his PhD, but they called him the doctor. He was so classy and so professional, man. I loved it. I had these gentlemen on my mind, and I just took bits and pieces out of them and incorporated them myself, man. So I had those kind of models, even though I didn't have the cat at home in my house, the father figure, the type role model I needed. I had those guys that I could look at on television and say, you know what, I could take that from him, and I could put it all into this boat.
Where did you get that that kind of wherewithal to say, okay, there's an absent male father figure in my home, and so I need to go out and seek my own
youth. You got to understand now.
But I mean, a lot of cats don't have father figures in the house.
But this is where it came from. You're right. I played, at one point, I was doing my thing in the hood, in the inner city. This Caucasian gentleman saw me and say, look, man, I got this team. Came and presented his case to my mother. His name was Dave Capel. Probably the most influential man in my life. Took me from the hood, took me on the other side of town, and I played on his Pop Warner football team, which was called the Fort Myers Rebels. Now, all my teammates owned something. This guy owned a paint shop. This guy was the chief of police. This guy was the mayor. This guy was a lawyer. This guy was a doctor. So on weekends, after I put in work, I would go over each and one of their homes. So I saw palm trees, man, swimming pools, 2-story homes, but most of all, I seen a mother and a father. Then I see them sit together and eat dinner together, eat lunch together. I say, so this is what a family looks like. That's what I want. So this is how the father conducts the home. All right. So this is what he does to drive this BMW. He didn't have no hoopty with the loud noise that we adored in the hood. He was really doing it. Right. So that's where I saw that from, man. And I wanted it. Right. So I didn't get caught up.
I remember the first time, because like you don't know you broke until you see somebody that's not broke, right?
True.
So I thought that's just how everybody lived. And I remember the first time I realized I was broke, I went over to one of my buddies' house, and same thing. We played on the football team, and he had a little sleepover. I was like 7, 8 years old, I went to his house and I was like, holy shit, like this is insane.
Right.
She his mother was like, hey, if you guys want anything, there's some snacks in the pantry. I was like, what is a pantry? What is a pantry? And we opened the pantry and it was just this smorgasbord of snacks and cakes.
Like, what?
And I'm like, this is free. I can have this. She's like, honey, you can have whatever you want. And I was like, this is insanity. But I think a lot of the people that I grew up with and the people that we grew up don't get a chance to see that other side, and vision, so they lose that.
But that's vision.
Yeah,
the Bible says, "Without vision, our people perish." That's vision. When I was a booster, took me and my mother out to eat, Florida State booster, my senior year, trying to, get us to go to school. And they came around, was at this nice restaurant. First of all, they give you a little towel, you put in your, we ain't know. So we was watching everything he did to know what we was supposed to do. And my mom, first of all, my mom had to miss work to even do this, okay? And they said, well, what would you be having for your entree? We looked at each other, man. Man, we ain't know what entree meant. What is entree?
What is entree?
You mean? So we say, oh, what you get? Because I was always quick and talk. What you get, man?
What you get?
Excuse me, sir. What do you get? And then we understood what word entree meant, but we had no idea.
That's insane.
With that vision, we perished, though, man. So that gave us vision. Yeah. So we start thinking outside the box. Yeah. And a lot of my homies never had that luxury to go play for that team. Man, we traveled everywhere on we had the nicest thing. That was the first time we rode a plane.
Yeah.
First time we've been on a plane. Blew my mind. We went to North Carolina to play a bowl game. But it blew my mind, man. Being on a plane, going to play some ball.
Yeah, they told me, my dad told me, young travel broadens the mind. Yeah. That's exactly what it did. I remember my first time on the plane was, I went to Hershey, Pennsylvania. I was running track, and I placed a certain place, and they flew me out there, and I was like, yo, this is insane.
Yeah.
And it was that same feeling, man, that inspired me was like, yo, I'm gonna get us up out of this. I'm gonna get us up out of this. And a lot of cats don't get to have that. But what was interesting to me to you, man, was you did something that was ahead of your time, and you caught a lot of flack for it from the media, man. But fuck them, because it was probably some of the most inspirational shit that ever crossed my path. So you created this character.
Yeah.
In Primetime.
True.
So you kind of touched on the inspiration. I mean, the inspiration of it, which was the figures that you idolized growing up. But do you remember the moment it hit you? Because what it did was it was ahead of its time, because what you did was you were one of the first, I think Muhammad Ali, but you were one of the first, especially in football, to market yourself.
Yeah.
And really understand that brand power. And today our athletes still don't really understand their brand power.
Man, it happened, first of all, when I played baseball, football, and basketball. In high school, I dropped I'm serious, about 38 that night. Nigga, hot. That curl was tight. I was bouncing that thing down the court. I was hot. I was hot. The curl was wet then. It was wet. And the jumper was wet. So I had a couple dunks back to back, and my homie that was my main partner, we was riding back home on the bus after the game. He said, man, you know what, though? Boy, you Primetime. I said, yeah.
I sure am.
Yeah, I sure is. But that's how I jumped off. So that was a hood.
What's his name? I gotta give him
Richard Fain.
Richard Fain.
Richard Fain, matter of fact, ended up playing for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, really?
He was my boy.
Okay,
he was my receiver. He was always 1 year under me, and that was my dog.
Shout out to him.
So he gave me the nickname. So when I got to Florida State, I went to Florida State in '85. And my front license plate said Primetime. So when I pulled up there, they was like, "Oh, so you Primetime?" I said, "Yeah, I am." You gonna see. So I had that kind of mentality, dog.
I love that.
I had that kind of mentality as a freshman, because I know I had it.
Yeah.
Not only did I know I had it, I worked my butt off. That's an intangible you don't really see.
But that's why
somebody with the goods that was willing to do the work. Yeah. So I knew I had it. So worked my butt off. And I think my sophomore year, man, that's when these agents start coming. They start coming at you, boy. You got to understand, I turned down money for the Kansas City Royals out of high school because I wanted to roll the dice and play some football too. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't just take that money because I didn't think it was lucrative enough to retire mama like I made a promise to at 7. So when an agent, man, showed me how much money everyone made in the league, it blew my mind. Yeah. Because back then, I'm like, so that's it? That's all the corners making? Yeah. Oh, no. No. What? It wasn't even a meal, dog.
Really?
Corners wasn't even a meal. No one was making a meal. So right then I said, okay. So I took Prime, man, and ran with the thing. I can remember sitting at home. I had a little black book. Most people was getting chicks' numbers in their black book, man. I was writing down quotes, dog. I mean, it was like, I'm the best thing since peanut butter and jelly. I thought you knew. I mean, exclamations mark, everything hyphen, like the capitalization of some word I wanted to emphasize.
Where is this book?
Dog, I don't have no idea.
Come on,
I have no idea. And after the games, I'm getting interviewed. How do you feel about that play you made? I thought you knew. I'm the best thing since peanut butter and jelly. Like that thing I flipped it.
Yeah.
And that was it. So I said, ooh, I stumbled up on something.
Right.
So they hated it or loved it, but either way, it was ink. It was ink being attributed to me.
So how did you know that the reverence would come with the positive and negative? You know what I mean? Like, how did you know that, okay, I'm going to say, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but it's going to pop? Like, how did you know that?
Because I had the goods.
Right,
I just needed to get you there to see the fight.
Got you.
I'm going to win.
So did you take that from Muhammad?
A little bit of Ali.
Got you.
But a little bit of OJ.
Right.
A little bit of Dr. J.
Yeah.
A little bit of Hank Aaron, having the endurance to stand there.
But that flash was something.
But that was Florida though.
Okay, yeah.
That was straight Florida.
That doesn't make sense.
We had we had peer pressure wearing jewelry, man. Like if you ain't have a chain in high school, man, please, get out of here, man. You ain't got a chain. That was our peer pressure.
Yeah.
So you had to have some around your neck. You had to have some weight.
Right.
So that was what it was. So honestly, one of the things, and I don't know if I've ever told this, you may be first. One of the things that people don't know that I did. And I remember Spike Lee came at me sideways when I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I had a neck full. I mean, neck was full. And he's like, look at this fool. He's betraying the black race. What he didn't understand is, man, I was trying to show the kids where I'm from. You could do this, but it could be positive. You don't have to slang dope. See, back in the day, the drug dealers, who got all the girls? Mm-hmm. Who got all the cars? Who had all the money? Who got all the attention? Who got all the love in the hood? Was the dope boy. Mm-hmm. I'm showing them, oh, baby, you can have all this, but you don't have to slang.
God, that's beautiful, though.
That was my purpose, man.
Right.
And I got killed by my own folks because they never understood the story.
See, that's why like we were talking before we started, was like the technology now could have changed that whole narrative. Like if you had a platform where you could just sit and talk.
I can explain.
Where Spike Lee can sit down and talk to you. Because like Spike Lee back then, I mean, he's still one of the greatest, but like Spike Lee back then was like a Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Like he was.
I took offense. How you shooting at me, dog?
Yeah.
First of all, we brothers.
Exactly.
If you got a problem with me, call me. I'm easy to get at.
Y'all cool now though?
We talked about it. Okay. I got love for Spike, man.
Yeah.
I ain't even mad about nothing about yesterday. I don't get down like that.
No, for sure.
But I wish he would have come to me as a man,
right,
and check me if you didn't, so I could explain to you, Spike, this is where I come from, man. I don't know where you come from, but this is where I come from. This is what's applauded. I'm trying to show the shortest. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't use profanity. I was doing all right, but I was just showing you that we could turn this wrong that they portray into right. You can have all this, man. Just get your work and hit your books.
Yeah, because man, just like on the surface level, it does look like, oh, here goes just another flashy young black cat. But like there was so much substance behind what you were doing. And like I said, man, it was legendary shit because you were the first person, in my opinion, if I don't know, backtrack, but like in the NFL to market yourself, and it worked.
But the thing about it, you got to understand when you first, there's also going to be reluctance because everybody don't understand. People always criticize what they don't understand.
Of course, yeah.
And that's sad.
Of course,
we criticize just because we don't understand it. Instead of sitting back and say, let me understand the method to this brother because he just can't be just doing this.
Right.
And it was like a light, man, like a light. And I remember telling someone in an interview, do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator? Do you think Eddie Murphy is really that raw? Do you? No, man. This is a character that I'm creating. Okay, I got a 3-hour special that runs every Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna run it every Sunday, sometimes Monday night. But this is just a game. Damn. This is not who I am.
Yo, that's
what
so
I did.
That's so deep though, because if you look at all of entertainment, that's what it is. Like if you look at Pac, he portrayed a character. If you look at the cats nowadays, they portray a character, and it helps with that prestige. It helps with that. Just get the buzz of your name.
It helps
going.
retire my mama for the rest of her life. That's what it helped with.
Yeah.
Retire my mama. Because that's all it was to me.
Right.
Man, I made my mama a promise, and I don't lie. I don't lie. So I had to stand on that promise, man. Not just during the duration of my playing days. My mama ain't worked since. I've been at the game for a minute.
Yeah.
So all that was real, man. I was real on that promise.
Yeah. No, and you did. And did you know how impactful it was going to be though?
No, because that dude don't never try to be that dude. He's just that dude.
Because you're the reason.
He's just that dude.
I wore high socks.
Man, I appreciate it.
Yo, everybody. I used to kill cats on my team like in high school and stuff because cats would quote that famous quote that you say, look good, you feel good. Yeah, go ahead, say
feel
it.
Good, play good, play good, they pay good.
Yeah, man. That used to be like a moniker for all of us growing up. And like there would be cats that were garbage sitting in the mirror for 40 minutes before the game. I'm like, dog, stop it.
Say garbage.
Yeah, man. I'm like, you look good, but you gotta play good.
You gotta play good. Yeah.
There's one like fan shit I gotta get out the way, man. That was kind of just like the game of telephone. Set the record straight. Maybe you have. I haven't seen it though. Set the record straight on this 40 on this combine. This is. I'm gonna tell you what the story.
What they say.
This is
what they say.
This is the story. The story goes that you pulled up to the combine in a limo. You walked out the limo. Mm-hmm. Didn't tie your shoes. Had your cleats on. Went out and ran a 4.1.
No, that's not true.
Okay, cool.
It's not true. You got to understand now, when it's time to be professional, I'm very professional.
Got you.
So I did everything everybody else did
at
the combine. I really did.
Okay.
And I was in line, did all that same stuff, and got up there to run my thing, and I was out.
Got you.
Now, after I ran, I was out.
Okay.
Because I think I was also playing baseball at the time.
Okay.
So I had to get back to business,
Got you.
So that was it.
Got you.
That was it.
Yeah, that. Is it funny hearing your story like with the legend like shit like that? Because like, that's growing up. That's what I heard.
It keeps going. I heard so many good ones.
What's the craziest one you heard?
Tim's. Ran it in Tim's or ran a 4.5 backwards. I was like 4.5 backwards. Hey,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that may be.
I probably could have.
Yeah. I remember racing somebody backwards and beating them backwards, but I don't remember I don't think I was clocked. The thing that I think that was true. We had a senior day in Florida State, and all the scouts was out there, and they want to see me do my thing.
Right.
And I can remember going down there, man, and I promise you, I felt like I was coming off the ground. And as I hit the line, I yelled, "Say it!" Because I know it was 4.1 something. And they said 4.21. I said, "Say it! Somebody got it! Somebody got it!" So, darn well, if you got a 4.21, somebody got a 4.1 something. All right? Yeah. But nobody would say it. Right. Everybody was scared to say it. Yeah. But as I hit the line, I yelled, "Say it!" Because I knew what I came in at.
That's insane, man.
Say it!
That's crazy to hear like, your name like that just with legendary shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you didn't really. Hold on, did you pull up with a limo? I don't get that part.
No.
Okay, cool.
No, I did everything. I did everything ordinary.
That's just insane to me, man. How legends grow like that over time. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know you a legend, or you just?
Man, when you in it, just like playing two sports. Right. Man, that's all I knew all my life. So when I look back now and I'm with my kids, like we was just in Atlanta just recently. Mm-hmm. I said, Daddy, because it was traffic going down 85. I said, Daddy didn't drive down 85, right? They said, "What you mean?" I said, "Daddy took a helicopter from now to there to play some baseball." And, it's just some funny stuff like that. Yeah, Daddy ain't do all that. Yeah. Daddy, then the baseball series was on last year. I said, Daddy's team lost on Wednesday. And Daddy played in the game that Thursday night, right? You do know that, right? I'm just
beautiful.
Just mess with my kids, right?
But that's hella. That's hella.
I'm messing with my kids like that all the time because they say, "Daddy, you want nothing." I say, No, Daddy want nothing.
Nah, you ain't gonna find a soul.
Daddy. I called the equipment man and say, "Whitey, get it." His name is Whitey Zimmer. "Whitey, get it straight." He said, "I already got you, dog. I know you. I know you like a book." I say, "That's right,
man." That's
I'm playing. I'm playing.
That's love, man. What was the hardest transition? Not hardest. Because it could have been because it seemed so effortlessly. But the biggest transition from like college sports to pro sports, because you did both in
people, man. Mm-hmm. People, and the expectation of people. That's the hardest transition. Understanding how to cut some folks off. The hardest thing for us as athletes, man, is to cut those umbilical cords.
Yeah.
And some of them got to be cut. You can't take everybody everywhere with you. And you try to carry people along with you because they the home and you feel bad. But some folks, man, you got to cut.
How do you know when? Because a lot of cats need to hear this, man. How do you know when is like the line between helping somebody and then enabling a
mathematics? I call it mathematics. Either you helping me add or helping me multiply, or you subtracting or dividing. I got to put you in one category or the other. You help me add, help me multiply, or you subtracting from me or dividing some bull junk. In that, you got to go. That's how I do it, man. Right now, I have categories. Like at the end of every year, man, I do it like a clean, like a house clean, like a phone clean, everything, man. You know, some people you just carry folks in your phone that have been there for years.
Yeah.
What are you doing in my phone? I ain't talking to you in 5 years. You got to delete it. Okay? You got to delete that stuff, man. Yeah.
No, that's powerful, man.
You got to.
That's some of the hardest things to do, like as athletes, is to say no, because you feel almost responsible for people in
sometimes,
a way. And it's a growing curve, because like I've thrown so much money away trying to be a nice person.
We all have.
Yeah.
We all have. But the thing about money, we can make it.
Yeah.
The thing we can't get back is time. So I don't like. Earlier when you led off, you say, you know, I have a little this and that. No, dog. It ain't just that what you did on the field. Me and guys like Snoop, the reason we sit down with you because we recognize something that's genuine, something that's authentic, something that's ain't like the rest. So we're able to, you know what, dog, I'm going to give you my time. This the most precious coin I got.
100%.
So when I give somebody time, man, we down. And I don't spend that everywhere and on everybody. And that's the main thing I've learned over my life, how to spend my time. I don't play by time, man. I'm never. You never gonna catch me like you never gonna say, man. I was just such and Prime happened to be there. No, I ain't no happen to be there. Either I'm there on business or there on purpose. On business or on purpose. Yeah, I ain't gonna happen to be nowhere.
Happen to be there.
No.
I want to talk about the aspect of kind of piggybacking off of that is. Along with the money part of football, and you have to understand who you have to say yes and no to. And I don't know how honest you want to be with me, man, but there's like a woman aspect to this, to fandom that is tough to deal with when you're. I mean, I'll tell you my side so you can get a little more comfortable. But like, so when I was growing up, I never had a problem with women. You know, I could always do what I wanted to do. But when you reach a certain level of reverence, it just becomes okay, you get your pick of the litter and you have to manage it. And, you know, I made a lot of mistakes and I did things that I shouldn't have done and yada, yada, yada. But as far as like giving advice to young cats that are out there watching this who happen to be on the cusp of their stardom, like what kind of advice would you give from that aspect?
Man, that's a tough one because I've made some tremendous mistakes. I've been down the aisle twice and wasn't happy at the end of each one of them. And knew before I even went down there, it wasn't right. Yeah. But I did it anyway because one, I felt guilt having kids. The other one, I was saved. I felt like it was the proper thing to do, trying to live my life the way it's supposed to be lived instead of love. What I would say to people, man, is, and the youngsters, man, you got to be careful who you close your eyes with. One thing I could honestly say, man, I probably have closed my eyes with maybe 5 to 6 people in my life. That means close my eyes, slept with. I've had sex, but close my eyes. Right. I don't play by closing my eyes because now there's a trust thing. Yeah, and a lot of cats are with people they don't even trust, man. Right. You ain't trust, and it's hard to say you love. Because love, first of all, starts with oneself. And oftentimes as athletes, man, we don't even love ourselves.
Man, it's beautiful right there. Say that one more time.
We don't even love ourselves and who we really are at that point. So how we going to exude love to somebody else, man? Yeah. So we're really lost. And I always tell people, man, oftentimes, man, we ain't role models. We models playing roles.
You got
Man, this is what I do, man. I love to talk to people. I never get a chance to really talk to folks, man. So I love it.
Yeah.
I love to talk to people, man. So with those youngsters, man, I pray for them, dog, because they're attracting who they are. And if we really look at it, we attract who we were.
Oh, that's game.
Yeah. That's what you attract. Who you are, and that's not a good thing. Because then we wake up and find ourselves married to ourselves.
Man, it's free game you giving up, man.
That's real, man.
I feel like I gotta pay for this shit, man. So for so long, man, I was, and it's not just, I think it extends past, it's not just an athlete thing, right? So for so long, I was in like an unhappy relationship because I thought that was the right thing to do. Yeah. Rather than taking time, focusing on myself, understanding who I am and want to be. And that's the problem. I was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I kind of explained this to him, how like you're in your infancy as mentally as an athlete, but like you're in your prime physically, and you have to balance that. And then you're growing up in this fishbowl, and you're trying to figure out who you are in front of people. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. It is. And then especially, I think it's a little more easy to do now because I think the public and the media is a little more accepting of individualism. But like when we were, more so you, but when I think I was the generation that just started that, fuck these people. Right. But when you're doing that and you're trying to portray a certain image of the good guy, and especially athletes have to be these role models, when you're trying to do all that publicly, you internalize so much negative stuff, and you don't have a lot of people to reach out to, right? Especially as the breadwinners in your family, because like everybody comes to you with their problems, and so that balancing act becomes heavy, man. I went through a deep depression. I know you did too. Who hadn't? Right. I went through. I was a heavy into drinking. I dove into the bottle. I know you didn't have a vice like that, but my vice was alcohol, and I did it heavy, man. And I finally climbed up out of it, man. What helped you get up out of your funk? Because I don't know if you want to talk about it, but
man, the Lord really did. I know we have different paths and we go down different streets. The Lord did, because I was tired of trick-or-treating, man. And it wasn't even Halloween. I got tired of putting on the costume, and here I go, I'm prime, I'm finna do your thing. I got tired of it, man. I just wanted to be the baseball me. See, the baseball me was really just Deion. Right. Football me was prime. He's a whole different cat. He's a whole different entity. The baseball me, man, is a real, like right now, man, I'm a country boy, man. I go to City Swag. I love to go fishing. Yes, I love property. I love to be out there kicking it, riding four-wheelers and teaching the kids about real estate and all that. That's what I love to do. I don't know when the last time I've been out to a spot with music playing. I don't know when the last time that has happened. Yeah. But let the truth be told, nobody would believe that because of the prime, the image. Right. And that's not who I am. It's so hard, man, to try to live up to the expectations when you really married to the game. Mm-hmm. See, I'm married to the game, but I got to please you too. And that's hard because now there's a balance in the tightrope we got to walk, because by the time I get home, I ain't got nothing else to give. Now you want attention, you want affection, you want love, you want appreciation. And then when I don't give you that, so now I start coming home and you ain't giving me that. But the problem is you really can't do me like that, and I shouldn't do you like that, because every time I walk into a restaurant, everybody look up and look at me and give me some kind of affection. So if I go home and I don't get affection, this is what I'm used to. Now I got to go out and find me some affection, Damn. So that's when everything starts to spiral out of control. And it's nobody on your level at that point that you could talk to, because mostly everybody's around you is on your payroll. Yeah. And they going to say, yeah, they're going to say, yeah, I understand. No, you don't understand, because you ain't me. So now we find ourselves in this situation where we married to somebody that we don't even know. They don't even know us. All right. Yeah. And that's darn near what it is, because she's lost, you're lost, because you're not who you used to be. She ain't what you thought it was going to be. And now you got kids. Yeah. Complicate the matter. Right. To complicate the matter. Now you got to have an eternal battle over that, because now the truth start coming out. Now it's about money. That's what it is. Yeah. And then you hate to see, I can't believe all this comes down to this. Yeah. But we knew it when we was walking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man. I always tell people, man, money doesn't change anybody. It just reveals who you already are, man.
I say money makes you more of whom you really are. It's just like you add pressure. What's ever inside you gonna come out when it's squeezed.
It's gonna come
when it's squeezed,
and it will get squoze.
And it will get squoze. At some point in your life, somebody gonna squoze it.
Somebody gonna squoze it up, man. That's So how did you? Was there somebody? Did you have like a mentor, like somebody you outsourced for that? Because everybody in your circle is like you understand, but you don't understand.
Man, one person that was always constant in my life that just passed a few years ago was my attorney, Eugene Parker. He was my agent. He was a brother. He was just unbelievable. And he never pushed me into nothing. He always allowed me to see my way through. And he would give me directions, almost like the first navigational system that was ever invented. And I can even hear his voice at times now, man. And we were very close because I was like one of his first main clients,
right.
and took him out of obscurity to notoriety. And he did it as well. He handled my football, my baseball endorsements, everything. And this was my dude.
You know, it's crazy, man. It's such a small world. But when I was coming out of college, I sat down and talked to him. Yeah. And in my heart of hearts, I was like, yo, that's a genuine cat.
Yes.
But when you coming out, there's so many you hear all the time. So it's just, I kind of chalked it up to like, I can't, it feels right, but I can't trust it. And then like throughout my entire football career, he kept in contact with my dad.
Yes, who he is,
and he didn't even care who I was signing with. All he wanted to make sure I was straight.
But that's who he was.
And then I heard he passed, and I was like, you know what? I never got a chance to say I even appreciate that.
One of the toughest days of my life.
Damn.
Because when I came out of college, he was my guy. And combine story. After I did all I did at the combine, someone had set us up to meet. This young brother coming in here with a tight little polyester suit, some wingtip shoes, scuffed up at the front. I was like, I know he don't think I'm signing with him. I said, bro, you got 30 minutes. Let me hear it. That's how I shot game. And he brought it. And something about him, just like what you felt, man, I could trust this brother.
It's genuine, man.
I could trust this brother. I know he ain't nobody, but I could trust him.
Right.
And that's what it was. And the rest is history.
Yeah. And I wish I followed my gut on that one, man. He is such a good light to him, man.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about your Super Bowl runs and what that meant. Because as a cat that, played in the league, did my thing, there was... I never felt any like, man, I wish I would have got a Super Bowl in me, because my whole goal was just like I just got to get my family out of their circumstances. Right. And I did that. And football was just such a team sport to where I led the league in rushing. We went 6-10. So it was like, after that, it was like, man, let me just try to do it.
That's hard to do when you're 6-10 and lead in rushing. Because when you're behind, you're throwing the ball.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's very hard to do.
Yeah, no, it was.
Very hard to do.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. But it kind of changed my perception of like winning, because it was like, if I'm doing everything I can, like if the pieces aren't there, the pieces aren't there. Management isn't gonna listen to me and what I feel and what I think and what I say. So it's like, I'm just gonna do my part, go to work and go home. You know what I mean? So, but what was that run like? Because it was so iconic. Like it thrusted you towards like icon
it took you to another level.
Yeah.
The thing about my last year playing with the Falcons, I forget our record, man, because I know I was playing baseball half the season and I would jump over into football in the midstream and handle my business. But I can remember having a phenomenal year with the Falcons that year. I think it was 93. Phenomenal year. It was cool. All pro, all that. It was cool. I mean, it was cool. It was light work. That's what it is. It is what it is. But the next year I went to San Francisco. I did the same thing. I'm defensive player of the year. We go to the Super Bowl. I'm that dude.
Right.
Now I'm household. Now everybody, commercials and everything coming. Same thing. But that's the association with winning and with losing. That taught me the difference of how you're portrayed with winners and with guys who wasn't winning. I did the exact same thing. I might have had the exact same number of picks, put in the exact same work. Even I did more in Atlanta, because in San Francisco, I ain't returned no punts or kicks.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, because my heart. The dude that returned punts and kicks was Dexter Carter.
Yeah,
Florida State guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that to my dog.
Damn.
So I let him cake it.
You a good dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you don't think, like, hey man, hey Dex, look here, man, you already know.
If you get tired.
Let me go get this here, man. I promise you it's gonna be a house call. But he was my boy, so I let him ride
That's
with
love,
it.
that's love.
But the whole perception changes. Now you got your pick. And I can remember, man, sitting back I was playing for the San Francisco Giants. It's almost like San Francisco was trying to corner me because I got traded for the Cincinnati Reds to San Francisco after the San Francisco 49ers had just won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I remember sitting at home in the hotel because I stayed in the hotel and I saw Jerry Jones on TV, man. Jerry say, Deion, if you out there, you going to be a Cowboy. I'm going to get you. I made up my mind right then.
Damn.
You're right.
You only signed a 1-year deal in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Super
and
smart.
it baffles myself, Merton Hanks, Tim McDonald. We had 3 guys that went to the Pro Bowl in the secondary.
Jeez.
Then the next year, Eric Davis went.
Yeah.
So it would have been all 4 of us.
Yeah.
So it always baffled us. We asked Carmen, I never asked him, but they asked, Carmen, why you ain't sign Prime the next year, man? They never even took a shot at me.
Are you serious?
Never.
Wow.
You know how I found out I wasn't playing for the San Francisco 49ers? I was at a sports bar after baseball game. It was preseason. You know, people still trying to get the services and all that.
All right.
Man, I seen a little white dude out there with number 21 on. I said, what?
That's crazy.
I called Eugene. Gene, what's popping? He said, ain't happening, San Fran. I said, all good. Let's make it happen.
Wow.
That's how I found out. I saw the kid with my jersey on.
That's crazy.
I said, you got to be kidding me, man.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Why would they not try to lock that?
Egos.
They don't win a Super Bowl without you.
True. They know that. Shit, hadn't won one since. But anyway.
That's wild, man.
But egos, man.
I mean, it runs rampant in our league, man.
Yes, it does.
It's insanity, man. So you go to the from the Bay to the show.
Yeah.
What was? I mean,
it was a beautiful thing because Mike, Emmett, Nate, we had some Florida boys that I really identified with.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm in Dallas. I'm in the middle of the country.
It suited you more.
Yes. It suited me much more.
Because they were about that. Let's tell you and show you.
That's right. And that's what I was about.
All right.
And then, it was another challenge. At that time, man, I needed challenges to keep me going.
All right.
I would sit on the island all day with no work.
Right.
So I needed challenges. Like, I need another challenge. Men, this is what we run. We run from challenge to women. We hate to say this, but most of the times we're messing up or we doing some stupid. It's because we're presenting ourselves with a challenge. It ain't about them draws. It's about the challenge of
Thrill of the hunt.
And when we know we can,
it's not as enticing.
Right, and women the same way. Not to
sure.
degrade a woman, but that's the same way. They treat us as similar.
100%.
But it was a challenge. So now I needed to go somewhere else and prove to myself that I could do that with them. And that's what it was.
And you definitely did that. Yeah. What was the relationship like with before, to backpedal a little bit, Jerry Rice? Because it was portrayed like y'all was butting heads, but you never really.
Every receiver on every team I played with was something.
Yeah.
The reason why, you're a receiver, man. Who's the most disgruntled dudes you ever seen on a football team? The receivers. Because they want the ball. They the fathers away from the ball. And they're always upset. You could throw them 10 balls, they feel like they should have caught 12 or 14. And I was the polar opposite. Yeah. Like, I just wanted to have a good time. This was a playground for me every Sunday, man. Yeah. Every Monday, every Thursday. This is a playground for me. So one-on-ones in practice, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
With Andre Rice. And now you come to San Francisco with Jerry Rice. The best thing, that we never showed was the practices, dog.
Right.
That's because I practiced like it was a game every day.
Yeah.
You wasn't getting on film having me. Right. In practice. I ain't played that since Florida State. You could go to Florida State right now and close your eyes and pull out practice film from 85 to 88, and I promise you I was getting it in. I ain't played about that practice film. I even asked the coach one time if somebody beat me on some little stupid move, I say, take that off. Take it off. Don't even show it. It was late in my career, but I don't play like that. Don't even show that on the practice film. I don't play like that. But anybody who you had a rival against for years, now you practicing with, and everybody want to see it, and you putting in work, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And then my personality, I got along with everybody, man.
Yeah.
From the people who serve the food, from the people who cut the grass, from the people who people walk by. I always spoke to those people. That's the kind of dude I've always been. So when other people are not that dude, that shines, that sends a message. And then when you putting it in on the field, everybody start migrating to you saying, man, you know, this is my dude right here. Man. And that now egos start to clash just because of your personality. Yeah. Every team I was ever on with a receiver. Always.
Because you're giving them the business.
Not just giving them the business, your personality. Right. Man. And the dude
it's hard for people to take. Because I think in order for somebody to accept you for who you were and who you are, they'd have to be right with them themselves.
There you go.
100%.
Everybody ain't right with them themselves. Yeah. And everybody don't have what you have because people try to do what you do, but they ain't got what you got.
Right.
So that's why I'd never been a jealous cat in my life. I always stayed after practice to help the people, help the youngsters, help everybody try to put in some work so they could be to the level.
It's insane because the kind of the portrayal of you is like egotistical. Yeah. And then like
on the field on Sunday.
But when you just break it down, it comes out of humility. Right. It's a humble place to come out. I don't even know if there's a word for that.
It is. But on Sunday, it was an ego on Sunday. Yeah. Like when the general public, when America got to see me get down, you was gonna see all that. You was gonna see that.
But that's what I'm saying is like it's rooted in humility. Yes, though. It's just confidence.
But I wanted to a lot of people want to be the best, man. I wanted to be the best ever. All right, there's a difference. Yeah, like man, I want to go to Pro Bowl. No, I want to be the best ever. Yeah, man, you know what? I want to go to Hall of Fame. No, I want to be the best ever. Yeah. See, I've never got. You can ask anybody who know me, man. When they call for the Pro Bowl. Cool. Yeah. I expect that. Yeah. When you call for the Hall of Fame, cool. I expect that. You know, so I never got off on personal awards. And the thing that anybody in my family could tell you that'll trip you out, man, I have a problem with accepting gifts. I'm a natural giver. I got gifts still wrapped up from Christmases ago because I'm Santa. Santa don't get nothing, man. I'm straight. I'm a natural giver. So I have a problem accepting because that ain't what God called me to do. He called me to give. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand how somebody could sit and rap at you and call you like selfish or anything like that.
Because
that's just crazy, though.
Because you know why? And this is some real game. When my confidence offends your insecurity, there's a problem. Yeah. I always tell people, don't let my confidence offend your insecurity because that's when you're going to have a problem with me.
That breeds a lot of problem in our communities, period, right? So, like, if you look, it's really just in our communities, man. Like, when you leave your neighborhood, you always have to give back or else you're viewed as a sellout, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of your successes are like highlighting other people's failures, and people can't deal with that. Right. And so they project that onto you, and you have to deal with that your whole career. I mean, and it starts to shape you because, I mean, obviously you still carry some of this with you where it's like, man, I had to deal with this shit my whole life. And you probably still do.
It ain't gonna stop.
Yeah, you probably still do.
It's that with the hometown. I can't live in the hometown. I can't do that. Yeah. That's not what God called me, number one. I used to go back often and give. And it was not appreciated, not accepted. It was almost like, you supposed to do this, you know, and they didn't care. So now you out. Oh, you sell out, you ain't do this, you ain't do that. No, that's not the case. The case is, I don't want the thank you letter, but at least appreciate, at least smile when I hand it to you. You don't have to write me a note, right? Smile. Right. I'm straight.
Nah, for sure, man. So like, how do you because you were such driven by like you said, the challenges of challenging yourself. Like, how do you find your peace now?
Man, my whole life is peace, man. The thing about it, it's not how I find peace because I operate on peace. I have to make sure I eliminate those things that affect my peace because I'm at the place in life, and I've been there for quite some time. I don't do nothing I don't want to do. I don't go nowhere I don't want to go. I'm not doing it if I don't want to do it. And that's all money is, and that's all resources is having a choice, man.
Oh, for sure.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
No, we just want a choice. We just want to be able to go to the mall back in the day. I want that. I got a choice now.
Yeah.
And the problem is when we're ineffective, it's like we don't have a choice. We got to get that. We got to get that. That's poverty. But we got to accept that. But when you have a choice and you have options, that's all we work for. But I'm at the place now, man, where I just have to maintain what I have, and that's peace. Because that's so precious to me. It's unbelievable. Anybody around you know, I'm going, right when I leave here, I'm getting ready to go to the country. I got a spot 50 miles from here, and I'm getting ready to go to my little crib, and I'm getting ready to go fish, ride the four-wheelers, shoot the guns, hunt a little bit. That's what I'm getting ready to do, man.
Super country.
That's it. I will have on a cowboy hat.
That's dope, though, man, to hear that, man. A lot of cats, man, retired, like they struggle. They struggle to find that fulfillment, and they just spiral down. I've seen it so many times.
It hurts my heart, man.
Yeah,
because they can't identify when they're not been called nothing. What I mean by that is, oftentimes we've had a number and a name and another name. Okay, now you don't have the number, you don't have the Texans, but you still got the name,
right.
And you forget because you haven't made that out to be nothing but what was. And people ain't into what was, people into what is.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's super true.
Yeah.
It's hard to fight too. That's I say this all the time. It's like the first thing that I learned coming out of the game is like, I thought I was gonna start a podcast and I thought I was gonna do all these things and like, oh, I got fans from the NFL, like they gonna follow me. No, the fuck they ain't.
Yeah.
They don't
what's
care.
up? What's now?
They don't care anymore,
What's
man.
now?
So like you have to reinvent yourself, and you always have to grow. And like that's why these podcasts are so dope for me, because I get a chance to sit down and rap with legends. I get to sit down and rap with like regular average citizens or scientists or whatever, and I get to grow from those experiences.
Yeah.
And so does the audience, man. So it's good to see that, you know, like one of my idols growing up has found his stride after football. I mean, I already knew it, but it's really just for the people.
But you still evolving too, though, man.
No, for
I mean,
sure.
you like I didn't know you had, like, when I'm following you, first of all, you're a good follow. You know, you're a great follow. And
I'm wild sometimes.
yeah, but you're authentic.
Yeah, it's true.
And I just saw this the other day. Somebody was commenting, either it was a video or something. They say they were talking about you spit, and they say, you know, I had to really think about this because he brought it.
Right.
I didn't know. I forgot who that was.
Right.
They say, I didn't know he was bringing it like that, so I really had to go and get my game together.
Right.
Because he was bringing it.
All right. Oh, Scarface.
Yes.
Scarface.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of my dudes.
Yeah, that's
and
the homie.
Scars, yeah, that's one of the homies, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's an authentic cat right there.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I mean, that's all I think I struggled with in my tenure in the NFL was like finally coming into my own and just realizing like, man, this facade that I'm trying to put up, it's just not, it's flimsy. It's gonna break, man. So I'd rather die for who I am than live for who I'm not, man. It's a little cookie cutter fortune teller shit, but it's true, man.
That's true.
It's a real thing.
I was tripping for a while because I really didn't want nobody to know me, the real me. You know, I wanted you just to know what I showed you.
Right.
I just wanted you to see Prime. I can remember doing an interview years ago with his popular Caucasian broadcaster for my major network. He's still working. I was playing for the 49ers.
So we're not naming names.
He's still working. He's short, too. Okay. I was playing for the 49ers on top of the game, top of the world, balling. And he wanted to do a one-on-one. Cool. I showed up as Deion. That joker wanted Prime. And I gave Deion. Interview never aired.
Wow.
He was hot. Because really, he just wanted me to do flips and tricks. And I just wanted to give him straight me. So that there taught me way back in 94, dude, they don't want you. They want Prime.
Man.
And it was real.
Yeah, that's a deep.
That was real, dog.
Yeah.
He never aired the interview.
You never asked him why?
Just don't speak to him no more.
That's insane.
I'm good.
But that could have done so much for your image.
I didn't care. He didn't care.
He didn't care.
It was cool because they wanted Prime, man.
That's another thing that's bothering me about today's world, or just in general, is like how journalism has taken a hit because of the fast-paced clickbait shit. that we live in. And like you got to be careful what you feed your mind, man. But like those things like that could have helped because, I mean, to us, you couldn't have done any wrong.
Right.
Like to the little kids in the neighborhood, you couldn't have.
But that's what I was doing it for, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my heart. That was my heartbeat.
And it worked.
That was my heartbeat. Man, I can remember playing for the Braves, man, leaving the games in traffic jams and cutting right, cutting left, find myself in the hood, see some kids out there playing ball. I'm getting out balling with them.
That's love.
Right after the game.
God,
right after the game. And that's back in the day when everybody's rocking your shoes and you sitting your little shorties in your shoes. And man, I used to do that so much in Atlanta, and I used to love it. Because that was the kid in you. Yeah. Because you never wanted to lose that. I never wanted to lose that touch and that feeling of the authenticity of the inner city, man. I always wanted to keep my hand on the pulse, man. Yeah. And feel it. Whew. That's why I coach babies now, man. I've been coaching kids, man, for the last probably 15 years, man, with my youth organization, ages 5 through 12, man. That's what I do. I'm a high school football coach now.
Yeah, so I had Snoop on the pod, man, and he was telling me about y'all linking up, man. What y'all got cooking?
Man, first of all, me and Dog go back over 20.
Yeah, man.
Over 20 years, man, of stability. Mm-hmm. People don't understand how brilliant Dog is.
Oh, he's
the
one.
Do you know what it takes, man, to be on the scene for that long, man? Especially. And still getting it, man, because he's evolved and reinvented himself and evolved, but he's kept it 100 along the way. He's still the same Snoop. He gonna smoke, he gonna spit, and he gonna just lay back. You never see Snoop really get riled up, man. But he love them kids, man, and we love them. So we doing some interesting things together, man, with television, with just broadcast, man, with film, hopefully. And I can't wait to work with him to put our heads together. Yeah,
that's what I was talking to him, man. It's like our icons need to click up. Yeah, it's time for that because there's really no excuses anymore. Like you, Snoop, Jay-Z, like all these iconic figures, we need to click up and just start brainstorming, whatever comes out of those sessions. But this is good grace, and I'll just be a fly, and I would love to be a fly in the room. But
please, you're gonna be more than a fly. But I would love to, man. Everybody got to check the egos at the door, though, man.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to check them at the door, and let's do this for other people, man. Let's see how we can make this world a better place. Because I'm not one to just sit there and complain, man. Why would I complain about the yard being dirty and I don't want to pick up the trash?
Man, you'd be surprised how many people do that shit.
That makes me sick.
God.
Why you complain? Man, pick up the trash, man. If you don't like it, pick up the paper. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of leads into my next point, man, was like, what do you think about all of the stuff going on with the NFL now? Cause
it makes me sick, man.
Yeah.
In different ways. Mm-hmm. Different aspects of it make me sick. I just answered a question this morning. They asked me the question that you did, and I say, tell me this. Why y'all ain't asking me about the NBA? This during the finals. You ain't asking about nobody kneeling and taking a knee. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because the game is what you came to see. We just got off the World Series. Houston won that and all. Nobody saying nothing about when was this discussed? Right. But why you pick our game, man? Because you know what? We have a president that once upon a time, he had this other, he was in the USFL. And the NFL ran him out. Then he rekindled and regrouped. Now he wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills. And they said, no, we're going to shoot you down. So now he's chosen our game to just cause division.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the whole thing behind it. Wow. They ran him out. The USFL, they ran him out of business. Wow. Then he tried to buy the Bills several years ago. And they're like, man, please, we ain't letting you in this circle.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to get y'all back. So now I got to be divisive. Man, I just come to watch a football game, man. I don't give a damn what you do before, what you do after. I come to watch football. That's what I turn my TV on. Right. I don't just like I come to watch the NBA finals. Right. Nobody checking to see what LeBron is doing before the game.
Right. It's to me, it's like, it's poor leadership in the NFL because it's multifaceted. It's multifaceted because you have a Department of Justice that has given millions of dollars to the NFL to portray American flags, flyovers, all of this patriotism before the game. Mm-hmm. So they're making it mandatory that cats, or they had made it mandatory that cats stand out there. So Cap decided to do what he did, I stood with him, I kneeled with him, and he got a lot of all that backlash. But to me, the NFL is running scared now, and they're running scared towards the wrong side of history, in my opinion. Because if cats are you got to look at the why, right? You always got to look at your whys. But I've addressed that so many times, man. But it's just interesting to hear other people's perspective, especially OGs of the game, man. Because politics in sports, when your era, it wasn't too big.
No, not at all.
Because like nowadays, it's almost synonymous, because you can't really hide how you feel politically anymore. You have to kind of, I hate to say pick a side, because I think that's it's divisive.
Right.
But you have to at least give an opinion, and they're forcing a lot of these cats that aren't really well versed in politics.
I don't like it though.
Yeah.
Don't force me, man. Our owner last year told me, he said, Prime, this is what I'm dealing with. I got a father who called me that was in the military, who's now, he and his son that's a player, they're not speaking because of the divisiveness. The son really don't understand what the father is saying. No, you gonna stand. And the son is like, no, my teammates are kneeling, so I got to kneel. That's not the reason to kneel. You got to have a reason.
Right.
Not just, you can't just do this because if he's smoking, you're going to smoke.
Right.
So now there's divisiveness between the families. So now the owner says, I tell you what, man, I'm getting too much of this. Now the owner also said, man, I got guys answering the phone right before kickoffs because their girls or their wives are telling them what to do because they're confused. He said, we get ready to go play a game. I got to deal with this. So shoot at me all you want. I'm going to tell my team, this is what you do. Either we're not going to go out or we all going to do this together. Now, he's ridiculed because he's just trying to find solvency to the problem, a continuation of the problem. I just don't like why you pick our game. Why nobody ain't saying nothing about the other sports, man? Because they chose, we gonna stand, man.
But
we good.
It's leadership, though, right? So it's you look at how Goodell handles these situations. Look how he handled the Ray Rice situation. Look how he handles all of these situations. It's, oh, the public doesn't like it. Let me run. Let me scramble to find a instead of like, let's have an open conversation. Why is Cap kneeling? You know what I mean? Like, let's have a conversation. But there's no reason, in my opinion, that there should even be a national anthem before a game, or the players don't need to be out there. It's pointless.
The players don't need to be.
So pointless.
We could say that, and you're right to a point. But when else, as a player, do we get to do anything for our country? Like, say for instance, a football player. Like when else? Right. That's 3 minutes. One thing I wanted to always do, man, I never got a chance to, like the other sports. Man, I wanted to play for my country, man.
Oh,
just once,
dog. Olympics.
Just once. Yeah. You know how cold that would have been?
Yeah,
we going out there.
We ought to beat the shit out of the world.
True. But the basketball did it. Why not? But, I always wanted to do that, man.
Right.
So just thinking, I can remember how it used to make me feel as a baseball player when we had to do it 162 times, 162. So, all right. You think, man, can we get a day off? But no, 162 times. So football, man, I remember in Baltimore, we never went out.
Yeah.
It was always, when you come out, it's time to play.
Right.
So some ways I say, you know what, we need to do it. Whatever we need to do, I think we need to do it together. But I want to just get back to the game, man.
Yeah.
I think this is just taken away from the game.
It is. I feel you. It's just, I think, so it's like one of your idols, Muhammad Ali, like he had an opportunity to raise awareness.
Yeah.
And he used his platform.
He did.
And people killed him. And I mean, shoot, he got his license.
Everything,
yeah, he lost his license. Millions of dollars.
Yes.
And there's a similar stance that Cap took, and he feels that strongly about it. And we could talk about the semantics about it all day, which I agree with him. But the issue is that, like, I agree with you 100% that you want to get back to the game, because all sports it's it helps people come together in a world that's already divided.
Right.
So sports is like, if I'm Republican, you're Democrat, we both rooting for the Falcons, we have something in common. So it helps that. But when politics is infused inside of sports, I get it. But I'm understanding of the side of you have to use your platform when you feel something strongly about that. But that's when you said you want to.
I am too.
But when you say you want to do something for your country, right? Like that to me, that's what the country was built off of, is that dissent, that freedom of
expression, and all of that.
Just that critique. Mm-hmm. Critiquing is a beautiful thing, man.
I just know when I'm at the draft and I'm on the stage and I see these young boys come around, man, and they announce their name as the first rounders and all this, they ain't thinking about that.
Yeah.
I hate they're in that situation where they're not mature enough to decide.
Yeah.
And I hate them in that situation because all they want to do is play ball.
Yeah.
And I hate that part of it because, you got 50-some guys on the team, man, 53 guys and a whole bunch of coaches on the sideline, and you could just look there and see. And it's almost like now we just showing it just to see who ain't going to, take a knee. And that's not right. If you going to, whatever you're going to do, I think you should do it as one.
I agree.
I don't want to see half the team up, half the team down. Do it as one, man. Right. That's all I want.
And
I want unity.
I'm with you, but there will never be that.
True. But
I'm with you. I would love it.
And I think ever since we've had an African American president, that now we're called as a people to become more political. Mm-hmm. It's hard for us now to sit back and say, it don't bother me, it don't affect me.
But I think, and this is why, I took you can take a hit for this, because I feel like Trump was good, and I'll tell you why Trump was good for our country, because it made young cats politically aware. When I was in high school, I could give two shits about what was going on in the country. Even we were in the height of the Iraq War then. I didn't really know what was going on.
Right.
But like now these kids are you have to know what's going on. And to me, all it is going to do is cultivate young cats that are politically aware, and they can have these conversations young, and then we can start working on these problems that our country has from the get-go.
That's 100% correct. Also, with African Americans in the White House, we never thought a young sister could say, you know what, I could be the president. Right. Or I could be the first lady. Right. Or I could be this. We never even thought, I never even fathomed that when I was a kid. We have a brother. We always thought Bill Clinton was the closest thing to a brother that we was going to get. But we had a real brother, man, that did a phenomenal job. And it's no way you could come behind that. Yeah. It's no way you could come behind that.
He was important. He was important for our people, man. You can critique his policies and all of that stuff all day, but he was important for just the ideology of that position is no longer reserved for old white men. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And it was beautiful, man. But I mean, just as important as Obama was, Deion was for the kids, man. I promise you, bro. I appreciate like you said earlier, man. Luxury, the only luxury in this world is time, man. Everything else is just convenience. That's it. And you have cut out a little slice and shared it with me, man.
Anytime, dog.
I'm forever grateful.
Man, you know what? Next time I come, man, we gonna pick a subject and just roll.
That's right.
Just ride with it. But I like this. Yeah. I never get to do this.
Whenever you want to come on.
I never get to exhaust my head, so I never get to do this. You know how boring it is for me to talk about football, man? You know how boring it is? Yeah. I like it. It pays the bills. But I could do that in my sleep. Yeah. So talking about life, talking about looking back over the shoulder, talking about the expectation of brothers and sisters and who we are, man. I love that, man.
I think that's, like you said, man, that technology has given us a platform to help facilitate these conversations on a wide range, man. And like I said, before we leave, man, what's your goals and aspirations next, man? Because you conquered the world at such a young age, man. So what's on the horizon for yourself, man?
To make sure my kids
fishing in a cowboy hat.
True. I just want to make sure my kids are the best young men and women that they could become. And all the kids I coach, all the kids I touch, all the kids I reach, all the family, I just want to have what word am I looking for? I just want to be able to change the narrative for a lot of people in our country. And I could do that with more resources. I could do that with more time. I could do that with help in certain areas. And man, I'm trying to get people jobs, man. But everybody out there, they want to work. Okay, I got a job. If you want to do it, let's go. It's little things like that I really want to do, man. Homelessness, I hate that. I wish there was solvency or something for homelessness. Those are the type of things, man. I want to do stuff with purpose, not just do it. Everything has its purpose.
Man, it's beautiful, man. Like I said, man, the goats need to get together, man. The gods need to get together.
Amen.
Y'all need to.
You the one to pull us together, man.
I'm gonna do it.
Pull us together.
I will facilitate.
You know
that.
how dope this would be if Snoop was right there, man.
Yeah, it would be super dope, man.
Yeah.
I would definitely do my part, man.
Yeah.
I do my part.
You got me.
Yeah, it's time, man.
And
it's
if
time.
I could get to him, I get him to you. So you tell me who you want. I got you.
We'll set it up.
We got Rolodexes.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's an old school word. Kids don't even know what that is.
We got Rolodexes.
That's real, man. So we end the podcast the same every episode, man. So what I'm trying to do is Jim Carrey is one of my favorite cats on earth, man. So everybody that sat in that seat across from me has lobbied for me. Talk to Jim Carrey to try to get him to come on my podcast. So if you could,
hey Jim Carrey, let me do it. You remember Vera? And Jim Carrey used to do Vera on
was it
Living Color?
Living Color, that's right.
Hi, my name is Vera. When he was like buff.
Yeah.
Hey Jim, come on, man. I need you to sit your butt down. Just take some time. You tell us how much time you want to give. We here for you, baby. Sit down with my dude, man. He's a good brother. He's an honest brother. He's a righteous brother, and he's a real brother. I validate him 100%. We just want you, man. Just give us a piece of the most precious coin that you possess. That's your time. That's all we want, my man. God bless.
Much love, man. Dog. Stand by the GOAT, man. I appreciate it, man. So, man, for anybody that don't know, follow you, it's on Instagram, Twitter. It's
Deion Sanders.
That's man.
It.
So, I doubt anybody that knows me don't know you, man. So, we appreciate you coming on, boss.
Man, I got you.
Forever,
you have a safe trip back, man.
I will do that.
All right, bro.
Oh, man.